This is the Dell XPS 9510, and if you think it looks a lot like last year's 9500, you're right. The 15-inch design is stylish without being fancy. The carbon fiber matte weave around the keyboard might not be to everyone's taste, but it does a good job of hiding fingerprints and smears that mark other devices. And outside of the XPS, it's covered in its standard metallic chassis. The laptop has a very welcome upsized trackpad compared to other models, and it's nice to see a laptop maker actually using the space available. Internally, the 9510 has updated silicon that one expects on a year-to-year upgrade, with the exception of the inclusion of a GeForce RTX 3020 Ti. The addition of a ray tracing GPU will not turn this device into an unbeatable gaming rig, but it is a significant upgrade on the GTX that came before, and means this laptop will be passable for a couple of years yet, especially the more powerful options that are available in the 17-inch. If you want to avoid a discrete GPU altogether, then the 13-inch version of the laptop is for you. And as an added benefit, you also get better integrated graphics in the form of Intel Z. When coupled in our review unit with what Dell is calling its 15.6-inch 3.5K OLED display, an Intel i7 chip, 16GB of memory, a terabyte of storage, the 2021 XPS line remains the non-Apple laptops to beat. And when you're on top, sometimes you don't need to change everything to stay there. It can be entirely acceptable to keep playing your winning hand. Now Linux users, let's just step over here for a second. Now I had intended to do a separate clip on using Linux with this device, but it basically works. With the latest Fedora install, once you turn off Secure Boot, which allows the NVIDIA modules to be loaded into the kernel, it's basically fine. Now a couple of years ago, I ran into endless problems with the ThinkPad X1 Extreme Gen 2, particularly around the use of docks. But the XPS with its USB-C connections pretty much put an end to that. The discrete GPU will happily run apps under Wayland, and it feels like it's been a long time coming to be able to say that. However, it also does predictably suck down the battery. I watched 30% of the battery disappear in an hour just by having the Steam library page open. But by and large, it was a success. Other problems I've seen discussed around this device just did not happen. The fingerprint reader worked, the webcam worked, the screen brightness was tickety-boo, the touchpad was fine once I'd worked out that Gnome Tweaks had switched right-clicking from right-clicking on the side of the touchpad to using two fingers at once. The only warning that I can offer is that Linux doesn't handle scaling anywhere as good as Windows, and you will find apps that sometimes come up using the native really big resolution, which means the text looks really small. This won't surprise any long-term Linux users, but be aware that the Grub menu is extremely small, and I was very happy I never had to type out a menu entry. But that's it on Linux. Use it. It's fine. Now back to the normal place. So how much does this unit cost? In Australia, the 15-inch XPS as reviewed costs 4,300 Australian dollars, which might seem pricey, but the Lenovo X1 Extreme Gen 4, which has the same chip, same memory, same storage, same GPU, but has a screen with a lower resolution, costs $300 more. While it may cost a king's ransom, for that money you are getting premium build, components, and a laptop that will handle workloads for years to come. It's good to be king, and it's a title the XPS has yet to abdicate.